Welcome to this explainer. Grab your whistle, because today we are stepping directly into the official referee's debriefing room to break down one of the absolute most contested matches of the 2026 World Cup, that massive round of 16 clash between Argentina and Egypt. Now, we aren't just watching a highlight reel today. No, this is a technical match assessment. We're going to look at this fixture through the strict, totally unforgiving lens of an international referee. We'll be analyzing the mechanics, the IFAB laws, and those split-second interventions that literally left one nation in tears of joy and another aggressively demanding a formal investigation.
Okay, let's dive into this. To unpack the controversy, we're going to follow a strict, step-by-step procedural approach. First, the dramatic match timeline. Second, the VAR intervention explained. Third, analyzing the IFAB laws. Fourth, consistency and controversy. And finally, number 5, the official Egyptian complaint.
Section 1. The dramatic match timeline. A game of shifting momentum.
Now, as an official, I can tell you right now that game management in a scenario like this is a total nightmare. I mean, this match was a powder keg. Egypt shocks absolutely everyone by taking a 1-0 lead just 15 minutes in. Then we hit the major flashpoint. At 58 minutes, Zico's goal is totally wiped out by VAR. But you know, they're undeterred. Zico comes back and legally scores at the 67-minute mark, making it 2-0. At this point, the game state is looking incredibly grim for Argentina, but then the momentum violently shifts. Romero scores in the 79th, Messi equalizes in the 84th, and Enzo Fernandez buries the winner in the 92nd. Going from 2-0 down to a 3-2 victory in just 13 minutes is wild. But for us officials, the shadow of that 58th minute VAR call looms over the entire match.
Section 2. The VAR intervention explained. The 58th minute turning point.
So here is the absolutely central question we have to ask ourselves in this assessment. Did the video assistant referee operate outside of its protocol on Zico's 58th minute breakaway goal? To answer that, we really need to step into the VAR booth alongside French referee Francois Letexia.
Let's look at the actual metrics of this sequence because they are staggering. The play started with Egyptian midfielder Marwan Attia stepping on Lisandro Martinez's foot. But here's the kicker. This happened a full 100 yards away from the goal line, and roughly 10 seconds of totally flowing counterattack elapsed before Zico actually finished it. Now, what makes this such a fascinating case study for a referee is that Letexia had a clear, unobstructed view of that initial tackle in real time. He evaluated it, applied the advantage rule, and literally waved play on. It was only after the ball went in the net that VAR ordered a review to penalize that exact infraction at the very start of the sequence.
Section 3. Analyzing the IFAB laws. What the rulebook actually says.
Okay, let's go straight to the rulebook. Take a look at Law 5 of the IFAB laws of the game. It explicitly states that decisions of the referee regarding facts connected with play are final. The whole point here is that a referee's decision on the pitch has to be respected to maintain the fundamental spirit of the game, completely regardless of subjective team grievances. Letexia is UEFA's highest-rated official. When he is on that pitch, his whistle is the final legal word.
But you might be wondering, does the technology actually support him pulling it back? Well, legally speaking, yes. The VAR protocol strictly permits the review of attacking team offenses in the build-up to the goal. Referees call this the attacking possession phase, or the APP. Because that initial foul allowed Egypt to gain possession and launch their counterattack, checking an infraction, even if it's 100 yards away and 10 seconds in the past, is technically 100% within protocol. On top of that, the rulebook is super clear that a match is never invalidated due to wrong VAR decisions anyway, so the legal framework completely protects this intervention.
Section 4. Consistency and controversy. Polarizing reactions from the pitch to the studio.
Now, for an officiating crew, the fallout from this is basically your worst-case scenario. Egypt's forward Mustafa Zico called the intervention a clear and obvious injustice, and even went as far as claiming the tournament was literally fixed for Argentina. Their head coach, Hossam Hassan, publicly echoed this, claiming there was a complete lack of fair play. From Egypt's perspective on the pitch, the referee's foul threshold, the baseline level of physical contact allowed before blowing the whistle, completely shifted against them at the absolute worst possible moment.
But check out this stark contrast. You look across the halfway line, and Argentina captain Lionel Messi states, confidently, "To be honest, the refereeing was excellent. Every decision was almost perfect." It's the ultimate refereeing paradox, right? You have two world-class teams experiencing the exact same 90 minutes of officiating, and they walk away with two completely inverted realities.
And honestly, this divide totally splits the refereeing community itself. Former elite FIFA referee Mark Clattenburg strongly criticized the whole thing. He argued, "This is not a decision for the VAR." His point is that going back 10 seconds and 100 yards to re-referee's subjective, relatively minor contact, especially contact the official already saw and waved on, totally violates the spirit of the game, even if it technically follows the letter of the law. But to balance the scales here, Fox Sports officiating analyst Dr. Joe Mochnick fiercely defended Letexier's crew. He based his argument on those strict IFAB laws we just talked about. His stance is simple. Attia stepped on Martinez's foot to win the ball. That possession initiated the attacking possession phase and led directly to the goal. So erasing it was just the cold, objective, by-the-book application of the rules.
And this right here perfectly illustrates the absolute core of Egypt's frustration, a perceived lack of consistency. Think about it. On one hand, you have this microscopic, deep VR review that overturns Egypt's goal for a highly subjective foul 100 yards away. But then, on the other hand, deep in stoppage time, Egypt is screaming for a foul when Alexis McAllister allegedly tugs Hamdi Fathi right before Argentina's winning goal, and the VR booth stays totally silent. Speaking as a referee, inconsistency in your foul threshold is the absolute quickest way to lose match control. And for Egypt, experiencing this dual standard was simply unforgivable.
Section 5. The official Egyptian complaint. The administrative aftermath.
The Egyptian Football Association didn't just let this go. They took immediate, severe administrative action by filing a formal complaint directly with FIFA. And they aren't just complaining about missed calls here. They're alleging double standards and literally calling it a crime of discrimination. FA President Hani Abu Reda is formally demanding that Letexier's entire crew, including the video assistants, be completely excluded from officiating any remaining World Cup matches. From an institutional standpoint, trying to hold an officiating crew administratively accountable for a team's tournament exit is a massive, massive escalation.
So, what does this all mean for us? We have this beautiful game governed by objective rules, yet it is completely reliant on subjective human interpretation, which is now being magnified under a brutal technological microscope. It leaves us with this final, provocative thought for our debrief today. Does the relentless pursuit of microscopic accuracy through VAR actually compromise the organic flow and the true spirit of football? It's a massive debate, and it's one that will for sure rage on long after this World Cup is over. Thank you so much for joining me in the referee's room today for this explainer. Keep learning, and I will catch you on the next one.